Design is something, but I had a life in critical discourse analysis and in critical linguistics before then. And I became dissatisfied with the notion of critical discourse analysis and critique, because critique is backward-looking. It says what has happened and let me understand what happened. Usually it says what happened, what did those, powerful people do that will have an effect on me. So usually what is analysed is not the work of the powerless, but the work of the powerful. So two problems. But the other problem is that when we did critical linguistics in East Anglia in 1971, 72, 73, the world was a different kind of world. I mean, although it was already beginning to be shaky, certain social forms were still in place and power relations still in place. And we thought if you could show how these work, then everybody would want to change their relation to power, their use of power. And of course linguists would see that they need to talk about power. And you would do this by bringing the situation, the contemporary period, into crisis. Critique as means of producing crisis, and out of crisis would come change. By the time you were in the sort of mid-80s or late 80s, there was enough crisis around. You didn't need to produce it. And also with my move to education, I thought, well, what you need to give young people, of course, is a means of understanding what others are doing, but really by showing them how these resources can be used in relation to design, to send them into the world with tools which allows them to design the imaginations which they have about the world in an ethical kind of frame. So that entered into the New London Group work and became a sort of a feature there, and I think it captured, in a sense, or appealed to people, and they thought, yes, that seems right. And design is perspective, and in education that seems to me essential, that we say what are the tools, the resources these young people need in order to function in relation to their own wishes in the society into which they will move effectively. And that is more about design. But I do think design precedes production. Competence is always limited by what the social regards as competence, a frame, quite a strict framing, whereas design is not limited by a framing. You can make new things, and of course my notion of the sign is, in any case, the sign is always newly made. So signs are always newly made, and they're used in designs which are always in some way different.